Hi everyone, welcome back to the Thriving in 2020 show. My name is Miko Lau and I'm your host. And today's episode, I interview with Nicole M. Williams, who is a personal branding and communication coach. And she is also the author of Bet on Yourself, Life Lessons to Cultivate and Create Your Own Success. This interview with Nicole has been so powerful, and we really touch on the link between our individual value that we can bring to the world and how to generate profits and really piecing those missing links together. So we talked on why communication and learning how to articulate our value can generate profits in our life. And we also talked about how important it is to have dates with ourselves every week just to get to know who we are, cultivate that inner confidence so that we can go out there and share our lights with other people and to generate financial abundance doing what we love, what our purposes and things like that. So excited to share this episode with you. Let us know what your biggest takeaway is and stay till the very end because Nicole has shared something very special for you guys who listen to this interview. Hi, Nicole. Welcome to the Thriving in 2020 show. Super happy to have you on here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for having me. Thank you for sharing your platform with me.
Yeah, of course, of course. I'm excited for this conversation because I feel like it's going to be a very unique spin to probably what the audience is looking for right now. I know this show is all about generating more time freedom, more financial freedom, and physical well-being. But today we are going to talk about personal branding and communication. I think this is a link that people might not necessarily see, but we are going to show them otherwise. So let's jump into this interview, okay?
Okay, cool.
Awesome, Nicole. So first of all, I love this topic so much because, you know, as someone who just graduated from college like two, 3 years ago, 2017, I have a lot of friends tell me that like one of the biggest thing they wish they learned coming out of college was like connection and relationship networking with other people. So why don't you touch on why this is so important, especially like when it comes to building financial wealth? Like, why is connection with people important?
And it's funny you said that coming out of college, that's like the biggest thing because I experienced that. I actually work with schools, high schools and colleges, working with students who are getting ready to graduate and how, you know, effectively communicating their value, whether it's on their resume, whether it's in interviews, whether it is through their profiles and stuff. And it is important because, especially in today's day and time, it's not just about the hard skills, it's about the soft skills. The hard skills get you the job, but it's the soft skills that actually helps you to keep the job. You know, how you interact with others, how do you interact with your peers, how do you interact with your managers across different levels, and of course, working in teams. And more jobs or projects and stuff are basically devised. I mean, we're talking to each other, but we're not in the same space. So being able to effectively maintain relationships, we are so much on social media a lot. And a lot of times what I see is most people, you know, of course, the emojis and stuff, that's great, but it doesn't work for the corporate world. You know, while you want to show your, how should I say, your personality, but you have to be able to effectively communicate the value that you bring to the table in a way that let your audience understand what the benefit is that they get from you being there.
Yeah, and I love so much how you touch that this is a skill set that is so valuable, not only for entrepreneurs building their own businesses, but also like for employees working in the corporate world. Because at the end of the day, like connection and relationship with people is everything that we get in life is because of relationship with people. And I especially what you touch on social media, like we spend so much time on social media nowadays. So like what you do for people is so important, especially now. So let's talk on like from your experience, like working with clients that you help like teach them how to brand themselves, how to communicate. What are some of the biggest struggles that you see people have right now usually?
Self-promoting. The biggest thing, I was actually speaking with one of my peers, and we were talking about the biggest struggle that most people have is promoting themselves. And I guess they're not comfortable with it. And because they're not comfortable with it, it makes it hard for them to sell when you do have to go and say, okay, say what it is that you bring to the table. And then not only that, they don't practice it. So when you think it's easy until you open your mouth and you realize, wait a minute. And, it's not the top of the line. I mean, yeah, we can regurgitate, the different things that we do, but you got to show how it aligns with, what you bring to the table. And you got to do it in a succinct way that clearly makes your audience understand what they have to gain from interacting with you or coming into contact with you.
Yeah, I can totally see that. That's a huge issue, because I think it's a really deeper problem that people have, though, like when it comes to self-promoting, because you have to know your self-worth. You have to know like the value that you bring to on the table. So like, how do you help people navigate with that? Because I feel like the lack of self-love, it's a huge problem in people nowadays.
Oh, it is so much is. And I'm not going to say I've went through different phases myself where, okay, confidence, but then of course with society telling you all these different things, throwing all these different things at you, it's pretty easy, especially with social media. We get on, we see this person doing that, of course, the highlight reels and everything. And so we start comparing ourselves, and instead it makes us feel worse, instead of looking at, okay, what do I do well? What can I do that I can talk all day long about it without even having to stop, that lights up my eyes, that I beam, I can do it all day, and I can just keep going on. And you can see the light, because usually whatever it is that you do best, that everybody tells you that you do well or they come to you for, that's usually what you're good at. The thing is, most people think it has to be this grand old thing, but you do that little thing well, and then you master that and you deliver that in a way that can help other people, bring the best out of others in different ways. So a lot of times we're just looking for the arc instead of the little boat, and start there.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, so basically we want to narrow down to the small things that we do, that people always like comment like, hey, you do this so well, and really drill down deep on that one skill set.
And see how you can use that to deliver value or make other people's life better, basically.
Okay, so I feel like to be aware of something like this, it takes a lot of like attention, like a conscious awareness to that, right? So how do you teach your clients on how can we better pay attention to those little things that might show up?
Okay, so I usually get into asking key questions. Like when I work with clients, I don't try to tell it, because I'm getting to know you too. So it's kind of like going through this guided journey of where, okay, when you're working or you're working on projects, what are the aspects that lights you up? What are the aspects that you can keep doing forever and you lose time doing? What are the parts that make you feel like you're dying? So kind of stare you and kind of break down. Okay, so let's say someone say, you know what, I like, let's give an example. You know what, I like maybe sales, right? But then I'm trying to break it down, sales. But then there may be an aspect in sales that you like to be the front facing part of sales. You don't like the numbers or all the other stuff. You may be that person who get out there, deal with the people, kind of generate the business and stuff. And then you have the other person who will close the deal and do whatever it is. So what it is just identifying that little thing that you do well, that you can just keep doing, that you don't feel like it's work. Yeah. And the moment you start feeling, it feels, it is going to be work, because it's what you do, but it doesn't feel like work to you. And so you light up, you get excited, and you lose time doing it. Those are the things that you do well. And not only that, I also ask questions like, if money was not an issue, what would you do? A lot of times, and not only that, identifying your passion. And then, because sometimes your passion and your purpose are not necessarily the same thing always. I personally feel that, because you can be passionate about, hanging out with your friends, but that may not be what your purpose is.
Right.
So it's like drilling down on the things that you love to do, the things that you value. And I have like a kind of a guided process that I walk my clients through to help them with that, and just kind of pull it out of them, not really tell them, just kind of pull it out of them, identifying your value, your why. Why do you want to do this? What does it give you? What is going to do for you by doing this? Do you love the job that you currently do? Okay, if you do like it, what part don't you like? Stuff like that. Just go through and just kind of, and over time they'll get that, like, it starts making sense. And as I kind of walk them through it. If I was clear on certain things, you can, kind of go.
Yeah, so just really constantly asking yourself questions as you navigate through life. But Nicole, you have no idea how excited I am the deeper we go into this. Like, I was not expecting this conversation to go this way at all. But like, the more I listen to you, the more I reflect back on my own journey when I started entrepreneurship. I feel like at the very beginning, I always knew that there's like a unique value that I can bring to the table, but I couldn't articulate it. I wasn't sure what exactly that was, like what Miko Lau has to offer. And I knew that was like, they always say money is like a result of the value that you bring to the table, things like that. So I think what you do is the missing link between who you are and how you can generate, like, build financial abundance doing what you love, bringing your unique gifts. So let's dive deep into communication. So I feel like communication obviously is not just like with words. Like right now we are talking to one another. So what are the aspects of communications that it's like the core aspects of communication?
Okay, so I mean, I'm sure we have a lot of entrepreneur also listening and stuff. So let me see if I can do it in a way. Communication on a whole is, I mean, you communicate in different ways, through the way you look, the way you carry yourself, your body language, how you interact with people, how you present yourself, and also, whether it is on paper, off paper, online, because we're communicating in every way. Every time someone interacts with us, we're communicating something to them. And so, of course, basically being intentional in what you want to communicate. So I like to break down, okay, what 3 words do I want people to walk away? What do I want people to walk away thinking about me? Or what do you want people to walk away thinking about you? So I like to have people identify those 3 words. Okay, so, based on those 3 words, and if you're not familiar with what that is, I usually give them the exercise of saying, you know what, go ask your family and friends 3 words they would use to describe you. And you'd write them down. And then the ones that comes up the most, those are usually the ones that's usually what you're communicating subconsciously, but if those are not the ones that you want people to take away, then you need to do some, reassessing of what you're doing and the messages that you're sending out, and what messages do you want people to receive when they come in contact with you. And so I always starts with that also. So you have to be building your brand, and communicating has to be intentional. And sometimes whether we are intentional about it or not, we are communicating. So it's a matter of, okay, what messages do I want to send at all times when I'm interacting? Because you go out on an interview, or you're meeting with clients, or you meet, you're on your phone and there's someone speaking to you, you're telling them that you're not respecting me, for one, and then I don't care too much about what you have to say to me. So different things that you do, body language, how you communicate, through whether it be resumes, whether it be your LinkedIn profile, how you word your message. Words are key. One word can change a whole sentence. So of course, going through doing, it's a variety of way of communicating. Social media, what am I doing? Am I sending the messages that I want my clients to see? Am I sending messages that I want possible strategic partner to, so you're always sending messages. It's just a matter of, am I sending the messages that I want people to take away from me?
Okay, so being intentional about it at the very beginning. That's something really to think about, because we go about life every day just kind of like flowing and not intentional about the way that we interact with people. So I think that's a game changer. So Nicole, what would you say are like the most powerful or most effective way for people to communicate? Is it like more so your body language? Is it like the nonverbal communication? What would you say is the most effective?
Most effective way to communicate? It's a mix, because you know what it is? Not everyone receives the same way. I mean, yes, videos like, we're doing a video interview, of course, they'll be watching video. Words are always still king because those are fixed. You can't change those, and that says a lot about you. But I think you want to integrate a mix of media into your communications. And for me, I know personally, this year is the year that I'm going to be getting more into videos, a whole lot more. I am great with words. Give me a pen and paper, and I will pour the words out. But of course, you want to get in front of the camera more, and I'm speaking to myself too. But integrating your media in different ways. Even, yes, we have social media and stuff, but of course, engaging with people in person. And nothing better than engaging with people in person, looking them in their eyes, interacting with them, and making them feel, the experience of who you are, and them walking away feeling better because they interacted with you.
Got it. Okay, so I want to share a little bit about like my story too. So when I came here to the United States, actually English was not my first language. So learning English has always been like a struggle, and communicating with people was actually like one of the biggest challenge I had, because I was shy. I didn't know English. I had an accent. I still have an accent today.
Right.
And I know that learning the skills of communication really cultivates a lot of confidence, not only in the way we talk to people, and like I know you help with your clients on like leading with confidence, right? So
Yes.
why is that so important?
Okay, so people want, if I come to you and I was like, oh, you know what, I'm a communications coach, and of course you may not believe me, but I'm like, hey, I'm Nicole, I'm a personal branding strategist, and I work with clients to help them show up confidently. You're more likely to believe me. I'm excited. Sounds like I know what I'm doing. I love what I do. But if it's kind of like being on stage, it's like if you go to a comedy show and the comedian comes on stage and he's telling his joke and he seems like he doesn't believe the joke, and chances are you may not laugh because you're looking at him like, okay, right. So it's the same thing. So it's not a matter of whether you, like you said, you had the challenges with English and stuff, but people will still, people connect with you first. That's the thing, whether you speak, I deal with people on a daily basis, and of course, from all walks of life. And there are people who don't speak English and it's just a matter of connecting. People relate to you, and if they feel like they can relate, they'll open up. And so, of course, confidence. I got a little off track for a second there. I'm sorry. So I feel like communicating confidently just helps people to believe in yourself. It's like you're smiling, I'm smiling. If you smile, it forces me to smile back at you. So it's hard to not smile at someone if they're smiling at you. And it's kind of like that. Energy transfers.
Yeah.
Energy transfers. It doesn't die. So if I'm transferring a certain energy to you, then what happens is it's more than likely that you'll transfer that energy back.
Okay, I love this whole energy idea too. That's something that I'm all about. Everything is energy. So do you implement that kind of concept in the work that you do too? Like when you're teaching, coaching people how to communicate better, is energy part of your intention, like behind the way that you coach?
Yes. So it's funny. My significant other, he makes fun of me because I'll get on and I'll go, like, even when I'm doing my podcast, I go, hey, I'm Nicole, stuff. And he always teases me about it. I was like, well, you know what it is? A lot of times you have to bring, whether you're feeling it or not, if you bring that energy, eventually you find yourself, whether you were feeling that way before, if you intentionally is like, hi, how are you doing? Believe me, people, pleasantness, and they hear it in your voice, and you're excited about it. But if you come out as like, hi, how are you doing? How are you? That doesn't sound so, like you really mean it, like you're into it, like you're really interested in. And so, like I said, energy transfers. And so if you're laughing, we're connecting, and we're speaking. I work with I'm not going to say their name, but outside of here, I basically manage this work with a well-known franchise that basically I'm there to help bring their sales up. And of course, relationship building, helping them to re-engage their clients and meet their sales goal and everything. And now, things are going upwards, and that has more to do with the relationship building part of it. So my focus is basically to engage with the customers, engage with the clients, and then figure out what they need. It's kind of like kind of reading their mood, and then reading their mood, and then figuring out what do I need to do to help them solve the problem. Because everybody is like, okay, what do you want from me? People are always coming at you like, okay, what do you want?
Mm-hmm.
But if you can be able to get inside of their head and say, okay, this is the value that I'm bringing to you, or you can answer those questions before they ask those questions, then it's like, oh, how did you know what I'm thinking? Because then it shows them that, you're intuitive to their needs, and emotional intelligence, basically. Because a lot of times people are going through stuff, and, being able to check your emotions and check their emotions and be able to balance that to deliver a service, a product, or an experience on a whole. I tell people, yes, I sell personal branding and I'm a marketer, but I really do sell confidence. And so my thing is to build you up from the inside, help you become more self-aware, help you to understand your value, and then show you how you can actually confidently position that little by little to generate the results that you're looking to get. So whether that be maybe just interacting with your kids, interacting with your spouse, maybe that may be, I need to write a bio, but I'm not quite sure how to position all the things that I've done, my value, my experiences. How do I effectively do that on paper? And so I'm not telling you, I'm guiding you through it, because by the time I'm finished, you should be able to do that. If we never cross paths again, then that experience should make you better. So the next person that you come in contact with, you would at least know, you know what? No, I think I need to do this or do that. So it's not about me trying to force on you what I want you to think or say or believe about yourself, because it's already there. Everybody has their little light inside of them, and it's just a matter of bringing that out and shining that on the world and making it better because you exist.
Yes, I resonate with that so much. And I think that small shift in the way that you connect with people really makes the world's difference, right? Especially when we're trying everything that we do is like a sales process. As much as we don't want to believe that, but it really separates you from like the sleazy sales pushy person and also someone who is like genuinely wants to take someone from point A to point B and really help them overcome some sort of challenges. So that shift in your intention and the way you connect with people really makes a difference from the way that you just explained it to me.
It sure does.
Yeah. So I know that on your what you do, you believe in like uncovering people's brilliance and purpose by focusing on 4 areas, right?
Right.
I believe it's passion, profitability, problem, and profits. So do you want to touch on these 4 areas?
So passion, of course, identifying the things that you love to do, because of course, in the end of the day, if you don't love what you do, then, eventually you're going to die in the process of it, because it's like, it's going to get boring after a while. It's like, what's going to help to keep you going? So the passion, which then leads you to identifying your why and the value, the things that you really love to do. So being able to position that. Proficiency, that's basically the things that you do well. So how does that align with your passion? So, what do you do well? Do I write well? Do I have a thing with words? Do I speak well? Do I, what it is that you do well? I'm a graphic designer. I know how to make things look creatively well. Am I an organizer? When I organize things, people are like, okay, you do that so well. So figuring out what those proficiencies are that you do so well. And then of course, problem. So once you figure out your passion, what you're good at, then figure out, okay, what problem can I solve with that? So you identify what problem can I solve with that? How can I create value or generate a benefit for others using my passion and merging my passion and my proficiency together to be able to do that. And then profits. And then once you figure out how to do that, then figure out now how to leverage that so you can monetize it in different ways.
Oh, that is such an amazing formula. It's like a straight path. Once you figure this out and this one and this one, and then you get the profits. Right. Wow. I wish I had something like this 2 years ago and then have a strict answer to get more clarity on exactly like what I can create and do for other people. Because like you said, something we're passionate about is not necessarily like can be a problem solving thing for someone else. So doing that and now self-reflection, I think it's really powerful. So thank you, Nicole, for sharing that. Okay, so let's talk about, to wrap up this interview, we're coming to a close already.
Okay.
That went by so fast. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, sounds like we're just starting.
Yeah, it did feel like we just got started. So I want to ask you, what really motivates you now every day, like to wake up? What's like success means to you?
Success is that place where my passion and my purpose aligns, where I am able to live a comfortable life, where spend time with the people that I care about. So, where I have the balance between time and being able to create profit where I can live comfortable. So it's not like I'm looking to be rich or what, but for wealth for me is basically, being able to create value while at the same time having the freedom and the flexibility to spend time with the people that I care about while serving my purpose. So it's that place where my passion, my gifts, and my purpose aligns, allowing me the flexibility to be able to do that. I love to spend time with my family, and I love to laugh. I work hard, but I love to laugh. And there are times where I just want to spend time with the people that are immediate with me, and then there are times, okay, I'll be out. But that's what success means to me, to be able to do that. Make people. What motivates me, my two girls. Not only that, but just watching how, because I do the things that I do, and they're watching me do the things that I do, that I see them now. They are a reflection of me, and I want them to know or make the world better because I existed, and show them that, what it is, you can do anything you put your mind to. And I want to show them that, at the end of the day, you not, even though, of course, we're still making strides as women, but you can still do what it is that you set out to do. And nothing, there's no limitation on you but yourself. And I see it, even my little one now she has business cards. She's 7. She has business cards, and she takes a lot of pride in that. She has her little YouTube channel started, she has Instagram. So they're the reason why I do it, because I see it, the way they speak and the things that they're doing. Even my older one, who's 22, I know I don't look it. My older daughter, just watching her now becoming a leader of her own, doing workshops and doing speaking engagements and stuff like that. It just warms my heart, because I know they can do it because they see me do it. And not just because I know they've told me, in different ways. And so for me, they're my why. So they're the reason why I keep going, why I do the things that I do, because I want them to know that you too can do it.
Wow, that touched my heart, listening to you share that with me, Nicole, because just 2 years ago, I thought that success meant only like working at a job that paid me well. That really literally what I saw down the road, like in my future, what it looked like, even if it means sacrificing my soul, my passion, like who Miko Lau was here to do. That to me was success, earning money, securing that retirement nest egg. So to know that it's possible for us to do what we love, our passion, our purpose, and generate profits at the same time. Like, I think that could really be a game changer for our listeners listening right now. So let's bring this into more like practicality. What are some like specific action steps our audience listening right now can implement right away, starting today?
Implement right away. You want to start doing a vision board. I am a big vision board fan. I sit down and, I see you there. I sit down and I make sure. So before 2020 started, one of the things towards the end of the year, first thing I sit down and do is write down what my goals are going to be, what it is that I value. I go into this. It's funny, and in my planner I have. So I like to go into a little bit of a self-analysis where I go into my why, my brilliance, what's my superpower, me in 3 words, my passion, the things I value, how I can live my purpose. I write those out, and then I write down my goals for the year, and I do some goal setting, break down my goals into quarters. So every quarter I have 3 goals that I work on. You don't overset your goals, because then it's kind of, so I set 3 goals and I focus each quarter in achieving those. So of course, goal setting is key. You want to write your goals down, and you want to make sure that they're smart, specific, timely, measurable. So that way you can assess them and know if they're being effective. And you want to put a time. So, I want to lose, not even to lose, I want to, lose X amount of weight by such and such time. And once you do that, then you break it down into bite-sized pieces, that things that you can do daily that is going to help get you closer. I just did an article about resolutions. I don't believe in resolutions because those are like short-term, goals. And usually by the second week of the year, January, you fall off. But if you set actual goals and then you break them down, write them down, because keeping them inside of your head does not, so you can see it. And as you achieve little bits and pieces, it encourages you, it builds you up. It builds up your confidence muscle, because like, oh, wow, I just did that. As you complete something off your dream board, it's like, oh, wow, I did that. And as you look for the next thing, because it becomes addictive, little by little, and celebrate your wins. I like to say, celebrate your wins, as small as it may be. Celebrate it is important, because it's going to feed into the next one. So goal setting, vision board, and just basically kind of sit down and do a self-analysis. Sometimes you want to take that self-care, even if it's just the facial, sit down and just write about the things that you love to do, the things you value, how you can live your purpose, you in 3 words. And just kind of date yourself, basically.
Oh, that's cute. Have a date with yourself. Yeah.
Because that's the only way. I mean, when you're going to meet this new guy, how do you get to know him? You date him, you court him. So you go back to courting yourself. And it might sound silly, but that's what you do. Carve out, even if it's just 20 minutes on the weekend or something, just to do something with yourself. Sit down, self-analyze, and just write things down. And you'll be surprised how much you learn about yourself. And that becomes the start, because then you help to get clearer. You get gain better understanding of what you like, what you don't like, and then start to kind of respond to those.
That is such a good formula. Have a weekly date with yourself and get to know who you are, because at the end of the day, like that's all you have. So Nicole, this has been such a fun interview. I love this conversation with you so much. And I want to take this time to acknowledge you for everything that you're doing. Because like you said, it not only like created this amazing life for yourself, it's leaving so much positive impact for everyone around you. Right. Your daughters, the clients that you help, and eventually they will also continue to leave impacts to other people. So it's like a ripple.
Yeah, so it's like,
so and that's all because you stepped into who you are and you cultivated your unique gifts and bring that out to everyone who needs your help. And I encourage all listeners to do the same thing. Like if they're listening to this right now, they know there's something unique about them, and we all do, to bring that out. Go and just make that happen. There are people waiting for you to step into, who you are.
Yes. And as much as you think you don't have anything to offer, there are some challenges or some things that you have overcome. Then somebody who's in the place that you were is waiting to hear your story, so that they can know that they too can do it. So you may think, there's a bunch of people out there, but somebody's waiting on your voice.
Yes, absolutely. Yep. So thank you, Nicole, for being on here. And so for our listeners who would love to continue to stay connected with you, how can they find you online? And I know you have prepared something very special for our audience. So if you want to talk about that, that would be amazing.
Okay, so they can find me at Nicole Williams PR. That's NicoleWilliamspr.com. You can find me over there. Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter. And of course, you can check out my blog, Nicole's Lifestyle Lounge, and my podcast, the Open Conversations Podcast. And you can find me on Instagram at Nicole Williams PR, also on Facebook at Nicole Williams PR, and on Twitter at Nicole WPR. And for those of you who, want to get a taste of what working with me is like, I do have a free 15-minute session that you guys can tap into. It's going to be limited slots, so first come, first serve. And of course, I know Kimo will basically put the link or send the link out to everyone. So, once you get it, you want to go in there and schedule your free 15-minute session just to get a feel of what it's like to work with me, help you gain some clarity, and also get some feedback on things that you can do today, which is right after you finish with me, that you can help get closer to your goals or generate some results of your own.
Yeah, absolutely. I will put all that links inside the same email that this interview went out to. So just go back, let us know what your biggest takeaways were. We would love to hear from you, and just go get connected with Nicole and hop on that 15-minute strategy call with her. It's free. Take advantage of it and talk to Nicole one-on-one because she's amazing. So thank you everyone for listening, and cannot wait to see you next time. And thank you, Nicole.
Thank you for having me. Looking forward to hearing from everyone and seeing who gets to sign up and work with me.
Yay, bye.